Bonjour, nous sommes ravis de votre patience. Bienvenue dans cette nouvelle version améliorée de l'émission. Welcome to the flat. Footy from the flat is starting. Footy from the flat is starting. Footy from the flat is starting. The footy is starting.
I'm dying. Welcome to the flat. A bit of a disaster for me this episode in round 2. I am joined not by my usual suspect in Jesse. I've deliberately brought on an Essendon supporter to help me through this because somehow your life might actually be worse than mine, Felix.
Yeah, it is. It is. This is like a therapy session, isn't it? We've got two of the unhappiest fans in the world.
I don't know how this is possible, but somehow winning the game to Port Adelaide has made this loss even worse. Yeah. If we had lost the first two and been in your shoes, even though we're higher on the ladder, I'd be more pissed off.
Yeah, I can't relate. We're just not winning. So it'd be nice.
We have got Jesse on the line.
That's bold.
We're going to bring Jesse in.
Okay.
We're going to bring him in straight up off the bat. He is somewhere in Western Australia. He went over to watch the game, visit his family, surprise them. So I'm happy for him. But I did get a little bit cocky last week. And yes. I kind of followed that into the weekend as well. Like there might have been some quarter time messages that I sent to him, maybe asking him things about Fino Sullivan, these sorts of things. So I kind of regret some of that.
What was the exact quote? North are going to fucking kill West Coast?
I think it said, we're going to fuck them up.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is when you think about it, quite bold. Here he is. Here's the man, Jesse. You've got a massive pair of sunglasses on and a huge smile, and I hate you.
I got the right temperature to shelter you from the storm. Oh Lord, got to get the right tactics. Do you remember playing a song for me last week, Dylan?
There was something I think at the beginning of this.
It was a
Petrarca goal song.
A pre-canned gag. Well, that one was Matt Flynn's. When he kicked that goal, kicked that goal was the moment I decided that I was going to sing that on this review. So I made a note of what that song was.
You didn't even know you were coming on.
I know, but I banked it just in case.
Oh, that's so good. I think that's Matt Flynn in the pic. You can't actually see this, Jesse, but like there's a background picture of West Coast kicking a goal and there's like a ruckman celebrating, and I think that's Flinny. He kind of, I don't want to say turn back the clock because I don't think he was ever good, but he destroyed us.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was a nice goal. It was a nice goal. I think he was in my crosshairs for most of the game. Spent a lot of the game sooking, to be honest, because it didn't get off to a good start, and then they really won me over.
There was some exchange from you and I in the first quarter. I think I sent you something around like, what's it like to be in the presence of Fino Sullivan or something of that ilk. And then you were just sort of being like, oh, this is the worst we've ever played, these kind of things. And then kind of turned around. Where did you think the game, like from your perspective being there, where do you think West Coast kind of got on top of us?
Yeah, it's a good question. For those who aren't aware, I am actually a terrible Eagles fan during the game. I put on a brave face during live streams. When I'm actually at the stadium and you're riding the wave of emotion, I'm a terrible fan. And I'd given up on them and I was sooking hard. It's hard to know. I felt like you guys were particularly well, I think you were beating us up in the midfield, but also like really clinical. I think it was like 11 goals won at one point, but you were on top generally. But I think in the contest is where we started to get on top. It was the first Eagles game in a while where we would sort of force repeat stoppages. And even though we might not win the actual clearance, I started to have faith that we would win a lot of the contests and stuff and we get the ball back. And I haven't had that kind of confidence for an Eagles team in probably 8 years.
Yeah, cool. It's good that it happened against us. I feel you though. Like I feel like at some point in that game, you just started to overwhelm us and you started to swarm us. And the only plausible explanation for me from a North Melbourne perspective is that we've come into this game and gotten way too far ahead of ourselves after like a mesmerising 5 quarters of football to start the 2026 season. Like the 4 quarters against Port Adelaide, the first quarter here, and we've just bought into our own shit. Like I walked past Arden Street last week and there were reporters down there. Like everyone was getting around us. There was a lot of pats on the back, I feel, after one win to start this season. And we've just come into this game thinking we're going to smash you. Like that's my only plausible explanation.
Well, I saw a stat. You haven't won back-to-back games since Alistair Clarkson won those first 2 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Against
Is that for 3 years or?
Oh, it's a long time ago.
That was 2023. You beat West Coast and Fremantle in the first 2 rounds.
Opening
of the
2
season.
games. Yeah, that was the deliberate out of bounds gate.
Yeah.
At the end of that game, right? I just thought it was like a really insipid performance after about quarter time. What was our lead at quarter time? Like 30 odd points?
Yeah, 30 points. I think we might have got it to 24 at quarter time, but I'm not sure. But the biggest lead was definitely 30 points.
I thought particularly like the disappointing part was your young players actually were the ones that kind of took it to us. Like Dersma was really good. There was that moment where Cooper Duff-Tytler kind of showed the AFL world everything that he was doing in under 18 footy last year. He was playing on Toby Pink and he just spun him inside out, kicked that goal. So you guys kind of got the double. You got the win and the satisfaction of winning the game, but you also got the really good performances out of your young players.
Yeah, very true. But I think that a lot of the foundation of the win was built off. It was a pretty team effort, to be honest, like a very cohesive team that played together. There's a lot of players sort of running in support, being able to read what each other was going to do. And when we did make a mistake, there was someone there to mop up. And I think that lays a foundation for those guys to thrive, which hasn't been existent at West Coast for a while. I just watched the highlights back for the first time, actually, and it was amazing to see CDT kick 2 himself, but he actually set up like 2 to 3 others as well. From not many possessions, he had a massive impact. So he was probably my favourite performance out of the youngsters. And then, Milan in his second game had another elite performance as well. So happy days, but it's up to us to not be that team this week that drinks their own bathwater. We've got a big game against Port, and I'll savour the win for a bit longer, but you never know.
What's the bet that the full triangle occurs here and they absolutely smack you guys up now?
It's occurred to me. I think we'll go better than we did in the preseason game, but they're going to be a side that when they get on top, they have the capacity to belt teams as they did against Essendon, obviously on the weekend. So if we can, Rosie's, I think, confirmed out. So that helps a little bit, but it'll still be a tall task. We'll take another big team effort.
It's kind of just that midfield part for Port Adelaide, isn't it? Where you can get absolutely smacked up. So that's the difficult part. I did want to ask you quickly, Jesse, before you go, about the Harley Reid situation with Charlie Comben. I thought Harley, like overall, if we just go from a pure performance, I thought Harley Reid was the best player on the ground. I thought he absolutely, after quarter time, bullied our mids. What did you see of that strike from Charlie Comben after the goal celebration?
I sort of watched it back later. Harley did a really good job of getting under the skin of someone like a Comben. You could tell Comben was pretty rattled. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing that looks great when you win. And if you lose, it's in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Harley Reid trying to get in people's skins. I guess in this case, it was effective. I suppose you're right that Harley did, well, what's being said is that Harley did run straight at him. So to some extent, you have the right to defend yourself. But I thought the action, it was a big shove in the face. I think that's probably got to be looked at personally.
So I think the news has actually just come in that he has got off it.
Yeah, right.
Comben. Okay. So I think he has been able to argue that down. It is an interesting one. I think like when you actually watch it back, there was some behind the goals footage that they showed, and Harley definitely makes makes a turn for him. So he's definitely going to go and give him a shove. And then I think probably where Comben was able to argue it was that Harley sort of dropped at the same time. So the push, but other
Yeah.
players have been suspended for that before.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to watch it again to say if Harley dropped it. It looked like a fairly decent shove in the face, to be honest.
Yeah,
But I'm
Common
not
had
sure.
enough.
He definitely had. I thought so. I don't know. I think you still judge on the action, but it's not a big deal, that one, to be honest. Maybe it's just because we won. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of venom in the game, and there was a lot of there's a couple of slide tackles. I reckon I was sitting up in the fifth tier, so I may have missed them, but like. I'm pretty sure Liam Baker got slide tackled. I think Elliot Yeo slide tackled someone else. It was a pretty
right.
heated game. So
I don't know if I caught the slide
not
tackles.
too
Were
fussed about.
there any pens?
Yeah, there was a couple of yellows. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Tackles that ended up with one player going under the other. That definitely happened to Liam Baker late in the game. And I'm not necessarily saying they should be looked at. Just it was a heated game with a lot of erratic tackles and hits like that.
Yeah, gotcha. Give me a quick 3, 2, 1. Best players.
Best Eagles?
Yeah,
best players. Yeah, it's hard to give too much credit to Sheasel's 40 when they got slapped.
I
For
thought
Matt Flynn, clearly.
Sheasel was very average.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I really noticed him, to be honest. And I felt like there was a lot of erratic kicks. Larky kicked 6, didn't he?
5, I think.
5, was it? Yeah, he loved playing us. Shit. I reckon, honestly, our best player was Liam Baker. I don't know if the stats will reflect that, but the guy who really brought the brand, as he so often does. Milan Murdoch also had 2 goals, 16 and 10 tackles. And Harley was a bit erratic by foot, but I think he was the most consistent playmaker over 4 quarters who was really trying to will us in. So I'd go Baker, best on, Harley, second best. And you'd probably give votes to Larky, but Milan, the third best Eagle.
I like
How
that.
do you see it?
I was probably Harley best on.
Yeah, you did say that.
I agree with Baker. Who would I have given? I wouldn't have given it to a North player. If you ended the game at quarter time, I'd probably give it to Foss.
Yeah, true. He went quiet as well.
He went really, really quiet.
Well, have you seen the coaches' votes?
I've not seen who got it in the coaches' votes.
Harley got all 10.
Okay.
Wow.
Sherry and Larky, 6 and 5. And then it's Jinby, Murdoch, Yo and Graham.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. Oh, Graham was good. It was a lot of like honest efforts from across the team. Jerry, again, I probably missed it a lot, but I felt like at times where North started to mitigate us a little bit, he was a big factor in that.
Yeah.
But he was against Matt Flynn, so.
Yeah, you can only take a small portion of that, really, can't you? Even though he is on the graphic here. All right, mate. I'll let you go. Get back to your holiday. Thanks for coming in and joining us on the stream, and well done to your Eagles. Bastard.
Thanks, mate. Up the Eagles. Have a good one.
Peace. All right, we'll take these headphones off. Did you have anything more to add on that one, Felix, on the West Coast versus North Melbourne?
I didn't watch the game, to be honest.
Didn't watch the game?
No, so I don't have a lot more to add, unfortunately, Dylan.
You were lucky.
No, what about you? How are you feeling?
I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed. And I do think that coming up, that West Coast are going to be at home. They're coming back there for the first time this season. They're going to see North Melbourne written on the team sheet and they're going to go, we can get at this team.
Yep.
So you've got to be ready. I think it was like Josh Carr last week said that Port Adelaide went into that game and he was upset with his own communication about how he probably communicated to the players that he underestimated North Melbourne. We've gone and done the exact same thing this week against West Coast. I feel like we honestly have. There was so much emotion after that win against Port Adelaide, and there was a feeling that we'd really turned the corner. Yeah. And I think the supporter base actually believed it. And I reckon that, at least on a subconscious level, has got into the players. Okay, but I feel like every year this happens with North. Like I feel like it's always early in the season where there's a point of the year where you're saying, this is it. You know, we're getting better. Things are changing. I didn't say that. I definitely didn't say that last year. Okay. I was fairly pessimistic the entire season last year. So I felt that win against Port Adelaide, it felt more symbolic to me, the way that it happened and the way that we really can, because we've had wins, like go back to last season, we had the Melbourne win and we had the Carlton win. Yep. And they were both sporadic stoppage bursts that we had where we scored really heavily from stoppage and that was it. Yeah. I felt like the game against Port Adelaide, we actually controlled the game for 4 quarters and there wasn't really any part of that game where you could have said Port were the better team. Well, I'm fairly sure Port Adelaide last week had the least disposals of any team in this year and 2025. Is that right? Yeah, so you completely controlled the footy
all game last week. And then fast forward this week and they've got over 400 disposals, but it's still, it's saying something.
I think so. Like the eye test told me that was a complete performance and everybody had bought in. And then you go to, I mean, to be fair, if you stopped that game at quarter time, I thought we played really well in the first quarter.
Yeah, but you don't.
But that's the thing, right? So I think that proves that we actually smelt our own farts.
Yeah.
A little bit because we actually get to quarter time and this is a classic example of the sort of like old media thing. They were talking and they're like, oh, West Coast have gone inside at quarter time to get a bit of a break in the air conditioned room. Symbolically, North Melbourne have stayed out on the ground, like they've stayed in the heat. This is really good. And then we just get pumped for the next 3 quarters and it's like, fuck off. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's all right.
That's footy.
It's footy. Draft picks, another year of drafts.
Another year of drafts. That's what we need.
Perfect.
We need more talent, Felix. We need more talent. Taj Scott says, love seeing Dylan's team lose. Thanks, Taj. Thanks, Taj. Awesome. Sherry, people saying Sherry played quite well. Yeah.
Highest rated player of the round.
Was he really?
Yeah, but I don't trust champion data like that. Like
there's definitely an over, would you say, like there's an overcompensation on rucks from the champion data ranking points.
Actually, I do find that. Well, because Grundy's up there as well.
Grundy's up there. You even see players like, I think Ned Reeves the other night had like an enormous ranking point game.
It didn't feel like it.
Yeah. Whereas the guys, I particularly see guys that get ranked down really hard are players that kick a lot of points. Like if you miss your opportunities as a forward, that can put you into the minuses quite easy. So there's a lot of key forwards that aren't doing so well there. Flynn selling candy was hilarious to me. Yeah, it was funny, wasn't it? Awesome. North's first 5 goals came from Eagles' disposal turnovers. Yeah, 100%. And we definitely looked the more highly skilled team, the more composed team in that first quarter. And they look like to be honest, they look like a bit of a mess. So Jesse's messages that he was sending to me saying we're a joke were probably valid at that point.
Okay.
But you could, one thing to say to West Coast fans, I would say, is even at quarter time, their pressure was good. They were trying to put us under the pump and we were just a little bit, at that point, just a little bit too good and their turnovers were a little bit too costly. And
that maintained throughout the game, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were way more up for the fight than what we were.
I mean, that's
disappointing.
That's good because, it's, if you, like, we'll swing it back to Jesse, it's been tough being a West Coast fan.
Yep.
You need a little win here and there.
Yeah, whereas like being a North fan's been great. So we,
you're right.
He won a flag in 2018.
Yeah, you forget about that, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Another one in 2006.
Yeah.
Back in that sort of
all
heyday
right, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. I also, by the way, have we pointed out that you are sitting behind the West Coast scarf?
Yeah, I'm in Jesse's seat today with him being absent. So we've got the West Coast paraphernalia back there, which is also good. And you've actually got, as an Essendon fan, you've got some North Melbourne.
Well, that's a bad omen.
It's not good.
We're playing each other this week. Yeah.
Oh, we are too.
We are, yeah.
I forgot about that.
We should have gone to that game.
We should have gone.
Done it a week later. Damn it.
We should have.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I do want to get to the Essendon game with you.
Nah, that's right.
We'll
skip it.
I think we'll go to a different game first, just so you can kind of like ease into things a little bit. On a talking point, a general AFL talking point, hammy awareness, a big thing at the moment. There is an epidemic.
Yep, it's bad.
Kane Corns has been one that's been talking about this a little bit with the high speed running, which I think is absolutely valid. The players are doing not necessarily more kilometres, but they're doing larger portions of running at high speed, which then puts strain on the body and can cause some of these hamstring injuries. We had 9 hammies across the last week or so. So you've got Petrarca, you've got Archie, Rosie, Caminiti, Heaney. I always have trouble with that for some reason. Lynch, Nankervis, Hayden Young, and Libba.
Yeah.
Are all going to be out with hamstring injuries. So I've seen a little bit of discourse around people saying that some of those, they're old age hammies, they don't really fit into this. I think they were talking about on Fireball this morning about Rosie's hamstring, which they didn't kind of put in that bracket either. Ooh. But my understanding of hamstring was that you could get them, they could come on a little bit more profoundly from that running volume. So from the game, if you've done a lot of high speed running in fatigue, you're more likely to get a hamstring injury.
Yeah. Well, that's just muscle injuries, I think, anyway. Yeah. Was Rosie's a hamstring? Or because he talked about his whole leg being numb?
It was. Yeah. So it must have had some sort of nerve damage, but that could come from the hamstring injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was in that area.
Yeah, like extending while tackling, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Or clubs have been preparing for this. So I was at Essendon in the off-season, and they were talking to us about the change in training, how they're limiting the amount of hours they do training, but ramping up the high-speed running.
Yep.
So it's less, they might take it down from 3 hours to 2, but it's a lot harder work, a lot more high-speed running. I think clubs know that this is the way that it's going to go. Not the injuries, but just the way the game's changing. You're spending probably less time on the field, but that time on the field that you're spending is harder.
100%.
And I just don't know if some players are going to be able to be prepared for that, especially ones with previous soft tissue injuries as well. So what was it? Did you say 7 or 9 this week? Yeah, so that's not great.
The worrying thing is, particularly for AFL, is the fact that has like a huge consequence on like the star players being out there.
And that's what this week is. You've got the Brownlow favourite in Petrarca.
Yep.
You've got Heaney. You've got all the star players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it is going to change strategy. Like we've already seen with the extra interchange player, that time on ground is reducing a little bit from players. So like you're seeing guys like I think Jai Cordwell at the weekend was only on for about 55% of the game time. But like actually looking at those players, those more dynamic runners like a Petrarca, like a Bailey Humphrey type, that Sam Lawler type, and going like, do we have to actually reduce their game time and try to use them more tactically in spurts?
Yeah, the impact players. Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Well, it is. And that's why, it doesn't, the sub was obviously not an ideal situation, but it's kind of come back in a way.
It's exactly 100%. It's still there.
Yeah, it is. You've just got players coming on at half time, coming on at quarter time. Like they wanted to scrap the sub, but have more flexibility with their sub, I guess.
The only thing it's changed is that you're not now labelled a sub.
Yeah.
So you're not being called that player who has come on as the sub. You're an actual player. So there's that, I suppose. But it hasn't changed a lot, has it?
No.
It kind of plays into the, I guess, like conversation around the rules. What's your take on it? Like I've talked to Jesse about this and I've given a few concerns of my own, more so around the new rules, and particularly that stand rule, I think is the one that's really causing some like flooding of scoring, but the centre bounce one as well. Teams are getting pretty heavy scores from there. Do we like it after the first 3 rounds, or whatever you want to call it, 2 rounds?
I think the way footy is being played in some of these games, I don't know if you share the same opinion, but some of them feel like it's fabricated scoring, if you know what I mean. Like they want scoring to occur. That's why we're getting so many games where it's like 120 to 110.
Gotcha. Just talk me through that.
Or it feels like it is so much easier to score in footy now with all the rule changes. There's less stoppages, there's less congestion, but it's just so much easier to move the footy when you've got a statue on the field.
Yeah.
It's attractive, especially when it's 2 good teams, but it can make for some pretty dire football when you've got one team much better than the other.
It gives a huge advantage to highly skilled players.
It does, or just highly skilled teams. That's why the Bulldogs, like, you think now, like in hindsight, of course they were going to be good,
Totally. They got the best kicks in the competition. Yeah. They got like 5 or 6 of them at the top end of their list.
Yeah.
And it is that, like we always talk, or historically we've always talked about, is their bottom 6 good enough? Yeah. I'm not sure if that matters anymore.
No, it doesn't. Even the back 6, they just chuck a few more extra numbers back there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's become, and it's even like that adage of score more than you concede. That's kind of what teams are kind of getting into now, it feels like for me.
Exactly. And what worries me about it is, as a coach, you don't have that ingenuity to be able to go, you don't really have many levers that you can pull to stop it. So if you coach a West Coast or a Richmond or an Essendon or a North Melbourne who are going to be outgunned from a talent perspective, you can't really do anything about it. You almost just have to go head to head with them and try to outscore them, which it turns into a very low variable game.
It does, which is why there were a few games this week which I really enjoyed, which I'm keen to talk about.
Yes.
But there were quite a few others that I really didn't enjoy.
So we're talking here, I'm saying Western Bulldogs Adelaide. I'm talking Hawthorn Sydney. Yeah. That's what the AFL set this up for.
Yes.
These big, grandiose games. Like I was particularly thinking about the Hawthorn Sydney game.
Yeah, that's my favourite game of the year, by the way, so far.
It was
I
awesome.
loved it.
It was absolutely awesome. And you've got you've got a big Melbourne team, you've got a team from interstate like Sydney, who's like, big metropolitan city. It's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Right. But what do you do when the game is between the Brisbane Lions and Richmond?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about the Essendon playing the Bulldogs in 2 weeks.
Oh, gross.
About to put 200 points on us.
And
Like-
we'll get into this in the Essendon
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
You guys could have lost by a combined 200 points easily already.
Yeah, probably.
What do you go, 60 in both games?
62, 63. It should have been a lot more in
That
both.
should have been a lot more for sure. So I reckon we had in round 0,
Okay.
3 of the 5 games were shit. Like blowout, like over before halftime.
Yeah, there was the Bulldogs Brisbane game, which was just like crazy. It was like a video game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two good teams.
Yeah.
They fit into that. So there's basically the haves and the have-nots.
Yep.
And if you got one on either side playing each other, it's going to be a shit game.
Yeah.
Round 1, you had 5 of 9 shit games.
Yeah.
And then we came back a bit in round 2. I'd say there were 3 of 7. So just under half. So if we're comfortable with that, that's fine. Are we comfortable with that?
Oh, it's going to take. Also, what we have to consider is the fact that the opening round teams are having buys. So we're having less of the best teams playing right now. I think it'll take time because the best footy this year has been really, really good. It has been just like incredible to watch, but there's just so many games that don't even feel worth watching. It feels like not a chore because footy's great and I love watching footy, but there are some games that are just over at halftime and it's almost sad to watch. It's bullying. One team just absolutely beating up the other.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that Essendon Port Adelaide game yesterday really does sort of bring back memories of that, of like, I'm going, I want to watch football, but I don't want to watch this. I don't know what this is.
I was at the game. How do you think I feel?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We've got some comments coming through. Port were okay. Essendon were just pathetic, says Redback Spider. Probably fair. Probably fair.
Anthony Committee.
People saying the coaches will adjust, which is interesting. I just don't know, particularly with I reckon that's probably true of some of the rules. Like, for example, the lasso rule, like you can get around that. There's things you can do. The centre bounce stuff you can probably get around as well with how you put numbers. You can't do anything with the 666, but how you can kind of defend the stoppage. I think coaches will get better at that. I don't know if you can do anything about the stand rule.
Well, it is. There was one yesterday.
The Kako one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, you've just got to play her off to the side for
Stuck in the mud.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Do you remember that game in like primary school?
Yeah, it's
where
that.
you had to stop and you can't do anything.
Yeah, it's literally what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've got a mate who umpires Sandful, even juniors, but like other levels too. And they really don't want to tell these players to stand because half the time they're just in positions where they shouldn't be, and it's just having a player off to the side. But I guess they're the rules. It's pretty crazy.
It's weird. I can't actually imagine, because I used to play local footy. I can't imagine playing footy like that anymore.
Having to stand.
Where you're stuck.
I don't want to stand.
I don't want to stand.
Let me run.
Let me be free. Let me be free. Rogie Riot, one of our big contributors, says, honestly, not the biggest fan of a lasso rule, mainly when it's accidental kicks off shins when ball is in congestion at players' feet near the boundary.
Well, that's an interesting one because it's last disposal. Do they count those as disposals?
Oh, from the player that kicks it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. It's still a disposal. It's just a free kick against.
But if it just comes off your foot, you wouldn't in open play if it doesn't go over the boundary line.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
still like it, to be honest. I think that speeds up the game in a good way.
I must admit, though, like the feeling that I'm having is, like, is the stoppage as bad as we think it is? Is a stoppage... It can be annoying, and particularly if there's like a weather portion to it, where you get one of those games and there's just shitloads of them. There was a game last year between North and Richmond that was just incredibly high stoppage, and North kind of orchestrated it to be like that. They can be boring games, but I don't know if the stoppage is actually bad.
I think it's the deliberate. Remember, I can't remember the last time. Actually, there was one yesterday, a deliberate out of bounds.
Yeah.
Aside from that, there hasn't been, and that was like the topic of conversation for a couple of years there. Just how all these non-deliberate calls and all these wrong deliberate calls. We haven't been talking about that.
Yeah, that's definitely not the rule that I'm most... I think the stand rule is
the stand is the one that I'm worried about, yeah.
That's the worrying rule for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Brad Scott will not adjust, says Darcy4487.
Yeah, no, fair.
That's a pretty good shout. There was there's some super chats there I've got to get to. Usually Jesse handles this, so I'm learning. Oh, Christ. Do we have to go back to that? Bonk Choi 1312, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Says, let's go, sack the coach, Cup this Sat. So that is North Melbourne versus Brad Scott.
Oh.
Or Alistair Clarkson versus Brad Scott.
Yeah, okay.
North Melbourne versus Brad Scott. That's got so many narratives, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But how many people are going to tune in? Probably not many.
Yeah,
We
it's-
will.
It's going to be a hard watch.
Yeah, it will.
I've just got a bad feeling that you guys actually pinched that one.
Mm.
Grimsby with another super chat. Dylan, can we get an impression of Clarko walking into the rooms disappointed at everyone, especially Griffin Logue? I'm not very good at impressions, Grimsby, but
What did Griffin Logue do?
he got injured early in the game. But I feel like Griffin Logue's just like that, that guy that you come after.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of players in the gun at the moment for North Melbourne. So it's going to be a tricky one. Rest in peace, North Melbourne, says Bra. I wanted to go to this taunting rule situation,
Yes.
which involved Patrick Voss.
Okay.
So he was fined $1,000 for sledging Harrison Petty. The sledges, I think the subject matter was the crying.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of did
The Dane Zorko.
2022, I think Dane Zorko said something about Petty's mother and
Something like that, yeah.
It hit a nerve, and also the balding hair part of the sledge. So bit of bullying, bit of teasing of Harrison Petty. They're up 49-7 at quarter time. What is your take on this overall? I'm going to give my take as well, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this.
Well, I think you nailed it with bullying. It just like, in footy you can tackle.
Sport is different to regular life. Like you can't have that false equivalence on those two things, but at the same time,
It is a workplace.
it's a workplace.
Yeah, and there are footy acts. Like I'm not going to go to work and tackle someone, but also you don't just go to work and talk shit for the sake of it. And there's obviously lines crossed, but I think when you're making fun of someone's like physical appearance,
Yep.
like just don't be a dickhead.
Speaking about their family,
Yeah, like,
race, religion, all that kind of stuff. I think it's, I don't know, like I feel like this stuff is, because a lot of the discourse around it in the wash up, I feel there's been a lot of anger towards Patrick Voss as well, but there's also been that kind of like, we want characters in the game and all of this sort of stuff. But I feel like a lot of this character stuff gets manufactured for, we're in the internet age. And Patrick Voss has been this player. He's been delisted from Essendon. He's obviously put a lot of work into rebuilding his career at FREO. But at the same time, he knows he gets a lot of engagement and he gets his status, his name appears a lot more when he does this kind of thing. And he knows that it's going to get clipped up. The game is as much played in a stadium in front of people as it is online during the next week. And I think he knows that.
Yeah.
And it increases his ranking points for this year. He's 1.8 per game.
Oh, he's kicked one goal.
He's a mediocre player.
He's not great.
He's good. He's playing a role in that team. They like him. It's fine. But he's not a great player. And I think sometimes this persona that athletes put on field, which is kind of dressed up as character, is kind of BS. And it's not real. It's not real personality.
And not to get all PR mode, but if you are a character and you're a role model, like you've got kids looking up to you, just don't be a shit bloke. I really liked the Ed Langdon thing, by the way. I thought that was fun. Carrying him over the boundary line, that's fun.
There's a lot of stuff. I think with a lot of that stuff though, it's kind of like, it's, again, wouldn't have complained about that, but it's this sort of new age where it's this content and it's like, we want everybody to be unique and individual, but they're kind of all doing the same thing. Yeah. Like, is it actually that individual as well? Even that kind of stuff. But I agree with you. It's fine. I don't want to sound like a boomer, but I am, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what the
got
comments
a super
have to
chat
say.
as well.
Yeah, I think New Haven says there, Voss went over the line. And I think there's still a line, right? You can celebrate. You can get in the face of your opposition and celebrate in front of them, but you can't do anything.
Yeah. And there you go. You can talk shit without getting personal.
And being a
Just
flog.
point at the scoreboard. You're up by 7 goals. Why do you need to get
There's
personal?
absolutely no need to do that. But I feel like he is thinking about himself in that moment. Tubby Josh has given a super chat. Thank you so much, mate. Richmond just announced Lynch out for 5 weeks and Nankervis out for 8 weeks. As a Tigers nuffy, we may not win a game for a while, FML.
Hamstring for Lynch or?
I think hammies for both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I think Nankervis, it's the first hamstring he's ever done.
Really?
In his entire career. I think he said that. Yeah.
Okay.
Lynch, not so much. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's two of your... It's actually funny in that game, and we might get into that now. that game actually.
Okay.
Richmond versus Gold Coast.
I like this weird order we're going in.
We're going super weird order.
Non-linear. All right.
Super weird order. Gold Coast versus Richmond at the MCG, because the moment that Lynch came off the ground in that game is kind of when it went to shit for Richmond. They're playing this style of football where I think we talked about it off the top with coaches not being able to pull many levers to kind of keep themselves in games when they're a bottom side. I think one of the things that they sort of can do, West Coast do this a lot, Richmond do this a lot, is they basically kick along the contest, arrive, try to get numbers around the ball, kind of try to beat you with work rate and just direct footy. They had Lynch as a target man, and as soon as he went off the ground, they just didn't have that representation. The Gold Coast defenders started to intercept everything, transition the football. It was game over. So that is a fucking bad injury for them.
It is, yeah. And it's just experience too. You know, they only had 36 inside 50s for the game.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I didn't actually have that one down.
Well, they're not going to score if you know, Lynch isn't there. You're just relying on who have they got? Jonty Fall, Harry Armstrong.
Yeah, both of those guys I think were still in the team this week.
And to be fair, they're playing Gold Coast.
It's a tough day at the office as it is. I think like you don't want to be playing the Gold Coast Suns right now. The Suns won this game by 68 points and most of the damage was done after half time. Yep. Ben King, he's playing that perfect deep forward role where he gets about the same amount of kicks as he gets goals for the match. 8 kicks, 7 goals, 7 score involvements. Like I only touch the footy when I kick goals. Yeah,
it's kind of that player who in a system like North Melbourne or Essendon, he'd probably be crucified a little bit more, but because the ball is moving so well in front of him, it just works.
Just puts the arms up.
He's fantastic.
There is something about that that's so nice, isn't there? Like Sam Darcy does it, Ben King does it, like the Inspector Gadget guns go up and you're like, no one's going to get there.
Yeah, and it's always full stretch as well.
Full stretch, yeah. They can't go with him.
Are they your minor premier favourites at the moment, would you say? 3 big wins.
Yeah, they're not going to lose many at home. They've got the back-to-back Darwin games in the middle of the season like usual, do they? I assume they do. I mean, I imagine their draw is going to get harder, and as the season goes on, like they are still a pretty young team.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to get them at some point with some losses. Western Bulldogs would be up there with a chance with the way that they've started the season. I think it's going to be tough for Brisbane now to go on a run now that Brisbane will be up in the top 4, no doubt, but I think it's going to be harder for them to come back from where they're starting. Yeah. And they've kind of always been historically comfortable of doing that. But yeah, they're probably Gold Coast, Sydney maybe.
Well, what's ominous for me is how easy it has been for Gold Coast. Like even the first half of this game, the pressure ratings were through the roof for both teams. Richmond were genuinely, and credit to them, like they did get smashed, but that first half they looked all right. You know, they were hanging in there. Yeah. They were keeping up.
They're a competitive team.
But as soon as it goes bad, or I guess goes good for Gold Coast, it's not even close. You know, and not even bad teams. Geelong, they pump Geelong. Yeah, they're pumping everyone they play right now. Yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to play them.
I don't want to play them. Yeah, I don't want to play them because they're the ones. Jesse and I have been talking about it, and he said it with West Coast, and that game could have gone anyway as well.
It looked like it was going to for a bit.
That's the only thing with these rules. I reckon the margin starts to flatter because the team that's winning actually just starts to take their foot off the pedal.
And I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah, that was the Port Adelaide Essendon thing at the weekend as well. Exactly, and like probably Hawthorn the week before.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah. So there's that. So like the margins don't actually get bigger and bigger and bigger, but the game's over often halfway.
Half time.
Yeah, half time, maybe at quarter time even.
True. Yeah.
Like in some of those games. So it's interesting. Bodie Ewland had a big game here. I mentioned when Tom Lynch went off the ground, they started to get involved, those intercept defenders. He had 29 and 16 marks in this game. He's a gun.
He is a gun. Who did Kane Corns recently say? Was it Kane Corns?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
They were the best brothers in the competition.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Bit early. Just a bit early. Zeke's doing well though.
No, well, they're both doing well. Bodie kind of goes under the radar now that Zeke's around, if you get me. Because he wasn't taken too high anyway. He is just a gun though.
Who?
Bodie.
Oh, Bodie. Yeah. No, I think it might have been like a pre-selection.
Really? Okay.
For the Suns up there. I've got a feeling. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't like some fanfare with the pick or anything like that. But yeah, he's super. I reckon he can turn himself into... I could see him being like a Josh Battle type defender.
Okay, like a smaller...
Yeah, like play on talls, play on smalls, but also distribute like he did in this game. I think if he can add a bit more offensive flair to his game at times, I reckon that would sort of like push him up into all Australian type conversations.
You did talk about the younger players and how that's going to go with Gold Coast. they've got a bit to them. Not just like quality, but they've got a bit of mongrel.
Yeah.
You know, both Ewlands. I really like Ethan Reid.
They've recruited so well. Like when you look at teams that fair.
But they have.
They've all. I mean, in fairness to them, like those players, like they've had to develop them as well, right? So they're coming through their system and they're kind of making them have the right parts of their game. They obviously go after those competitive types, and they have drafted a bit from open pool as well, and done really well from that source as well. So I guess you got to give it to them, but it is a bit frightening when you've got that much depth. Like I even looked at Sydney with Goulden and Heaney being out of that team, and I'm like, gee, they start to get a little bit paper thin.
Yeah.
Gold Coast don't.
Yeah.
They could lose.
They're missing. Who are
Raoul's out of the team at the moment. I was going to say Rioli. Rioli's in, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He got tackled by.
Well, Jed Walder can't make the team, which is insane. That is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like surely a bottomish team or a mid-table team is going to look at someone like a Jed Walter and say,
"Oh, you have to."
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
You guys would have a pop at him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, surely.
You hope so.
I do hope so.
Yeah. He's a gun. Good pace, big marking, contested forward. So injuries to come out of this game: Tom Lynch and Petrarca with it too. So I reckon that's probably, again, like Petrarca's going to be out for a month, I think, with that hamstring injury. Doesn't matter.
No.
They've got Bailey Humphrey. I think he's suspended again, actually, but they'll be fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to win most games, particularly at home. For Richmond, Jasper Auger did kick 5 goals in the VFL.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in this game. I missed that.
No, in the VFL.
Okay, so he can come back in.
He is coming back in.
Nice.
I'm interested to see if there's any Richmond fans in the chat at the moment. I actually have it up here. What did Richmond fans think of this? Editing Forrest says it was made worse by Lynch going off and then or other mature forward being pushed into the ruck. So who was the other mature forward being pushed into the ruck?
McKelty, Lafau.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And
but even not really mature.
He's not, I wouldn't call him mature. Yeah, he hasn't played that much football. Good player, but it's going to be interesting what they do with that magnet. Bonk Choi says Matt Rao is delayed too, apparently. Interesting. But they've got so much depth. It's crazy. Like, you've got a player like Alex Davies just getting in there. He's just having a bit of a go. Will Graham.
Patterson hasn't even played yet.
Patterson hasn't even played.
I'm keen for that.
And he's a top draw player.
He is.
He is an absolute top draw player. I think like the only, I don't know, could they use like an extra small forward maybe? They lost Malcolm Roses Jr.
He's looking good at Sydney, but I mean, do they need one?
Not really.
And it's always this time of the year, which is a little bit, it's ominous, obviously, but there's going to be cracks eventually.
Oh, they'll get, particularly with a young, like they're still a young list. Like they'll get tired. But it's interesting. Richmond is cooked in the ruck. Yeah, Nankervis is not having a good time with the ruck rules, but I don't really think Richmond have anyone else really to come in. Like now that Nankervis is going to be out, I don't know what they're going to do there.
Well, we picked up on that in the pre-season. Essendon played Richmond in a practice game and Lockie Blackiston just tore him to shreds.
Who's not having the greatest start as a ruck.
No, he's played, this is his second game in the ruck.
Yeah.
And he absolutely destroyed Nank.
Yeah.
So, it's not looking good.
That is interesting stuff. That is very interesting. We'll go back. We will circle back to the Hawthorn versus Sydney game. We're way out of order here. This one's way back on Thursday night.
Yeah.
When you review the Thursday game on the Monday, it kind of feels almost pointless in a way. But there were some interesting talking points out of this game. And it was, as you said, one of the best games of footy.
I loved it. It was so good.
What did you like about it?
Oh, it came after the week before we had all those high scoring games. This felt like the first quarter was obviously goals back and forth, but this felt like a game of chess. And I love a game of footy where you can see the way it's being played in very different styles and understand which team is benefiting from it.
100%. So I assume what you're referring to here is the fact that Sydney would just like run and gun through the corridor.
Yep.
And Hawthorn play that like expansive kicking game.
Yeah.
Open the field up so much. The thing that actually with that, it made me think about, like people have been posting recently about Jack Gunston and how he didn't, like how bad it went for him at Brisbane. And then he's been able to come back and have this resurgence. I don't think that he'd be able to play like this at Brisbane because of the way that they play and the way that they build the ball up. Okay. Like Hawthorn almost play this because Jack Gunston's not a contested marking key position forward. He likes to get the ball on the lead. I think he's like 0.6 contested marks a game in the last couple of seasons. So that's not really his go. The Brisbane forwards, like the way that they get it in, they're like one of those repeat inside 50 teams. They kind of build the ball up slowly from the back, pump it in, and they let their forwards go to work. The Logan Morrises, they're trying to get those guys to take contested marks. Hipwood.
Yeah.
And then they bring in the smalls at ground level, and then they kind of just go again. Hawthorn do that like full D50 transition, make the field enormous, and then everyone gets out, floods out, and then runs back towards goal. And I think that suits Gunston to be able to use his smarts and use the space that's available to him.
Yeah, it's the space. Like I was watching him on Zach Reid last week, or just every defender he goes up against. He is so good at finding any pocket of space. It's not even always leading up. It's behind the defender.
I know he gets at the back a lot.
Is he like the craftiest forward going around right now? He's up there.
He's pretty good.
But no, this game was it was a battle of chess, which I really liked, and it was high quality footy too.
It kind of shows too, like Sydney started the game really, really well, and it was more on their terms. So there was only 16 marks in the first quarter across the entire, like both teams.
Oh, really?
0 boundary throw-ins, and there were 11 first quarter goals, which means a fuckload of ads.
Yeah.
That's why it made me think of this, like these new rules and everything. I'm like, this is what it's made for. It's like a high-scoring, close game between two really, really good teams. There's shitloads of ads. There's money coming in.
Telstra.
The product is there. Like it's just, everything's kind of going for this game. Hawks end up winning by 17 points.
It was a lot closer than that.
It was. Yeah. It felt like a kick in it. But at the same time, like what did Hawthorn score? They went 14-15 to 13-4. So I do feel like if they were a little bit more accurate, this one could have been away. And I think in the end, they kind of consumed Sydney with the way that they like kept hold of the ball.
Yeah.
Just played keepings off with that kicking game.
And I loved that there was always, I think there were 2 or 3 points in this game where Sydney just looked like they were about to get a roll on. I think there was one of the third quarter where they got up to 20 or 30 points up.
Yep.
And Hawthorn just clawed their way back.
It just, so much belief.
Yeah. There is belief. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to
believe.
It's been a while. Believe. Yeah, absolutely. There is a narrative out of this game around a one Charlie Curnow. Got absolutely dominated in this game by Tom Barrass. He had 1 disposal after halftime.
Yep.
I think it was after halftime. 91% time on ground, 7 disposals for the match, 1 disposal in the second half. Now, I wouldn't be bringing this up except for the fact that he has a bit of a history of this. This has been accusations have been made about his finals appearances in 2023. I think he averaged 3 goals a game in the regular season, then went at 1 goal a game. And when you think about all of the capital that Sydney have had to pay for this guy to get him into the team, we're looking at $1 million per season. We're looking at Will Hayward, 2025, 2026, and 2027 first round picks. Like that is a lot to give up.
That is a lot
for a single player. You kind of want him to play well in these exact games. You're going to beat the shit teams anyway, so you don't need him to kick goals in those games. You need him for these games and finals.
And he started well too. It looked like he was going to turn that around. He was tearing up that first quarter.
2 goals?
Yeah, on Josh Battle.
And then
Tom Barrass.
Man, Tom Barrass, he looks so strong. Yeah. He looks like he's got one of those, like, just like an enormous, strong ass. You know what I mean, though?
No, I don't.
Really?
Elaborate.
Like his hips just look so strong. He kind of looks like he just does those like little little shuffle and the guy goes flying. And
that's what he was doing to Charlie Curnow.
Yeah, and Curnow just didn't have the ability to, like, I thought if I was looking at that matchup, I'd be like, Curnow would just run him into the ground. But he didn't.
No, he didn't.
They were just isolated together all the time and he couldn't beat him in a one-on-one strength battle. So
yeah. You are right though with Curnow. I mean, if you're a Sydney fan, you're worried about a few things. I mean, they didn't lose any fans. They were great despite the injuries. But, these are the players that you need to step up when you've got a few absent. Heaney and Goulden not there.
That game was right there for the taking for Sydney just to steal it. Like, I don't think they were the better team, but it was right there to steal it if someone like a Charlie Curnow had that kind of out of the box game.
Yeah.
And he just didn't do it. And when you add in the context of Sydney's 2 shocking grand final losses that they've been in, like imagine if they're in that situation again, that's where they want a Charlie Curnow to shine.
Well, that's what he's there for now.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't take him over, for a rebuild. They're going for a flag.
There'll be a lot of those arguments from people coming in saying, yeah, but he unlocks the door for Amadi. Like, like it's what he does off the ball. But I don't think that's what they bought him
If you're
for.
getting paid as much as he is, you got to perform.
You got to perform. You got to kick big goals. In the end, I think, like as you said, I don't think Sydney actually lost any admirers in this game because there was no Heaney, there was no Goulden, and they pretty much, like in the game generally, sort of matched Hawthorn, particularly in the midfield. And that's where I'm still quite concerned watching Hawthorn over these first few rounds. I don't know if I don't know if they can go to the promised land with this midfield. And I mentioned the game plan, how they make the field really big. They play that kicking game, keep the ball off you, and then they like bring it around the wings, take it back if they need to, open up a lot of space. I don't know if that's a sustainable game in a final necessarily to win you the match without that dominance in the midfield, because they were smashed at times in this game in the midfield, and that was without Sydney's best players.
No, and we saw that opening round against GWS as well, a team who had about 50 players on the sidelines
and have looked complete shit since that game.
Yeah, I think Hawthorn for me have always been kind of a bottom edge of the top 4 kind of team, but we haven't.
They haven't bridged it.
No, well, and we see that when they play Geelong, play Brisbane, probably different teams this year. It might be the Bulldogs, but they can never get over the line against those real top teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. I mean, the game starts in the midfield. It's just John Newcombe right now. To be fair, he is playing seriously good footy.
He is playing serious footy, but he needs someone. I feel for this to for them to go to that next level, one of a Josh Ward, a Cam McKenzie has to become like an A grade level midfield, because every time they go up against, like when they play Western Bulldogs, Bontempelli, Richards, Kennedy's in there as a bit more of a stopper sort of player, but they've got the big guns in there. Fraser's another one. Like Hawthorn don't have those at the moment. They don't have those imposing figures in the middle of the ground. So one of them has to become a top level player for me, because I don't think they can win just playing this defensive transition game.
Well, I think they can last the season doing pretty well with it.
Oh, they can. And they'll make the top 8.
Yeah, 100%.
Top 10, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I don't have them in my premiership contention bracket. I don't even know if I've got a bunch of teams in there, to be honest. I don't have a premiership contention bracket, but if I did have one, I wouldn't have Hawthorn.
I think I agree with you on that.
But would you have Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
Yeah.
But I think I believe and trust Sydney's superstar players. And that's probably where I go. I actually trust the superstar players, the Gouldens, the Heaneys, the Warners, over the respect that I have on Hawthorn for what they do, like the way that they play to sort of manufacture a good game style under Sam Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've got a really good back line, really good transition players, but I don't think they have the midfield to compete.
No. They're always players lifting though. It feels like, Gunston, Watts, like I think in this particular game, they had the big moments, especially late, because it wasn't the balance in the last 10 minutes, and it was their players who stepped up.
Yeah. Yep. But you remember Heaney and Gould.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't there.
Yeah.
Especially Hawthorn will say Will Day is not there. But
yeah,
that's getting more and more hard to argue that he is going to be there.
Yeah. And just on Goulden, same issue last year. We saw the ball movement piece just kind of, it was a flick of a switch when he came back from his injury. How worried are we about him being on the sideline for months now?
In the context of Sydney's like overall premiership, it's not ideal, but I do think that he is one of those guys that will just come back. Like I don't have the same fears around him as I do around a Will Day. Yeah, because I don't think he's going. I feel like both of his injuries have been quite freak injuries in a way. What I would say about Errol Goulden is, like, just take him out of the midfield. Just use him as a transition player completely. Like, take that physicality away from him. On the wing, he's fine. He's safe. Yeah. He's not going to get injured out there as much. So the shoulder obviously is a contact injury from, tackling and being on the inside. I would just let him breathe a little bit.
Dylan's just saying Barras is caked.
Dylan's just saying Barras is caked. What is that? Oh, is that the arse thing?
Arse. Yeah.
Is that what that? Is that a?
It's a thing. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Just you think he's got a nice arse.
Yeah. Yeah, on some level. Redback Spider, thank you so much for the super chat. The same Sydney Stars who have gone missing in 2 recent grand finals. That's a good point. I think Isaac Heaney has got enough big game performance credibility there. Like, he has played some serious finals, some serious big games for the Swans. I find it hard to lay any blame at him. But I suppose it's a fair point overall on that team.
Yeah.
Because that Geelong, I was so disappointed in that. Was it the 2022 grand final? Was it the Geelong one?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And then to get it again with the Brisbane one in 24, like that was.
Did you tip them for either of those?
I tipped them in the Brisbane one.
Okay.
I didn't tip them in the Geelong one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you?
No, I think I've always been a big believer of Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, I might have been. No, I actually would have tipped Geelong. Yeah, I don't think I did. But I mean, they're there. If you're there on grand final day, you're disappointed if you don't win it.
You know, sometimes you have that thing where your brain goes, Sydney can't do this again.
Yeah.
For the Brisbane one. So I'm like, they almost have to win this game.
Yep.
They have to be right up for it. And then when it actually did happen again, it's like, geez.
And then next time they just can't do it can't do it again.
They can't do it again. So I'll probably tip them again, despite who they play. We did have on the Friday night game a massive one. Adelaide Oval, place was pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Keys was instructing the 19th man player and the person in the crowd to keep the ball for him so that they could try to win the game. They didn't. The Dogs got home by 6 points, 13-10 to 14-10. These two teams are pretty good, but the Dogs are just better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and the fun thing about this is that it felt like Adelaide didn't have control of the game, but they had control of the footy.
Yes.
You know?
In a massive way.
They did. And the Bulldogs just, do what you want with it.
Have it.
Yeah, have it.
Have it in the back half.
Chip it around there. We don't care.
We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different Bulldogs team, isn't it?
It's a different Bulldogs team. And it is, I think the marks against actually show this because this is happening now. This is beginning to be a pattern for the Western Bulldogs where they give up a lot of those uncontested marks. Now, this can be a bad thing, but if the opposition isn't actually turning it into scores, then I'm totally fine with it. I think they're basically committing a lot of players back behind the ball to help out that defence, which they've been criticised for. So they're actually reacting to that criticism and saying, okay, maybe our defenders do need a little bit of help. They push guys back, which opens up pockets in the midfield, right, for the team to be able to take those uncontested marks. So it's like a roll-back defence. As long as they protect the D50, then I think they're pretty good. And how these rules are going, I don't think it suits anybody any better than it does the Western Bulldogs right now with their talent at the top end.
And you look at their back six, it's not stinky, but it's not great.
It's not big names.
No,
is it? It's Rory Lobb. It's
Butterick.
Karmas.
Yeah.
Karmas is having a year though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he looks serious. But what you would say about it is it's brand new.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
It is different. Yeah.
Like it's got Rory Lobb was there last year, Karmas was at times, but then you got Lockie Jakes, you got Michael Selwood, you've got Connor Butterick.
Both first-year players, by the way. Or all three for the Bulldogs system,
in Selwood and Jakes. And then Butterick's obviously played a bit of footy at the Gold Coast Suns. But kind of guys that have a pretty good defensive backbone, albeit a young, but are just doing like such a good job. And then you have like a Tim English who rolls back, takes those intercept marks for them.
Yeah.
They look good. I mean, you'd still have to look at that defence in isolation and go... It's hard to say that when you come up against a team like the Adelaide Crows, who have a really good forward line, and they didn't rip them apart, did they? But they could be ripped apart at some point.
Well, I like this comment. Adelaide play too slow of a style of footy to contend with the best sides. And we kind of saw that on Friday.
We did.
They can turn it on for a quarter and play ferocious footy, but their style of ball movement won't stack up against the top four, which
they've definitely changed something, the Crows. So in 2025, they averaged 88 marks per game. And for me, were very much a long down the line team. They kicked it to contest and then kind of, went again. And they had such good high forwards, like the Neil Boolans, the Ben Keys. Berry played a little bit of that role in Pedler and these types. So they win a lot of forward contest. This year, it looks like they've gone to more of that Brisbane style of game where you chip it around until you get to sort of like the halfway line, then you get it in.
Yeah.
And then you create those opportunities for your Thilthorpes, your Fogartys and your Walkers and those sorts of players. So 120 marks in 2026, that's like a 30. That's like a 32 increase. Small sample size, so that might come back a little bit. But it's a different style and it's not necessarily one that I think that they're particularly suited to. When you look at, I reckon the weakest part of their list, clearly, when you just take a look at the players, is the halfbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, who is it? Millerer,
Laird, who doesn't kick the football particularly well.
Yeah.
They've ran like a Nan Curvis. They're playing Cook at the moment, who's a young player.
Looks all right.
Yeah. But when you compare that to Brisbane, who play that style, they've got Zorko, Wilmot, Fletcher, all of these kind of guys. So it's a different look.
And you can see why they went for Goulden. Like he would be really nice in that system. You know,
Errol
not
Wood?
not yeah,
Oh, yeah.
not even just off halfback, but I mean you could.
Yeah.
But just the way they move the footy, that's been the talking point is their lack of class.
Yeah.
I guess with the footy.
Yeah.
And by the way, on the 120 marks, that's against Collingwood and Bulldogs, two pretty, we're saying top 9 teams at least.
Yeah. Particularly the Bulldogs look really good, don't they?
Yeah.
Collingwood probably middling.
I think you'd probably, if anything, suggest that those numbers would inflate once they start playing lower teams in the competition because they'll just have more control of the footy.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. So
Potentially. But yeah, if you can't get the ball, if you can't shift the ball properly and get it into the right areas to launch inside forward 50, I reckon they're going to have problems. So it'll be a watch.
And it's funny because you going into the year, one of the teams I would have been thinking that would just be kicking goals upon goals would be Adelaide.
Yeah.
You know, we saw 2023 when they were the highest scoring team when they missed finals with that Ben Keys post.
Yes, yeah.
And now, you know,
I mean, their forward line's incredible.
it is, yeah.
Um,
But I guess ball movement, as you say.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think they defend really, really well. But how they bring that, like, you've got to have good halfbacks in modern football. Like, look at the Giants. They got your Lockie Ash, your Lockie Whitfield. You need like 2 of them.
Yeah.
Miller is probably the one that, like, could he be that guy? But he hasn't really proved it yet. And he's
He's
not
like 31 or something
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He still looks like he could be that guy for me, though. Like, I think sometimes when he gets a ball, you go, wow. But he just doesn't do it on a regular basis. Like, whether he's too safe with the ball, doesn't want to give it away, but they need someone that can actually, like, penetrate.
Jordan Butts. Not in this discussion. I just want to... Jordan Butts.
Jordan Butts.
Amazing.
Amazing.
He was so good.
He was good. He kicked a goal.
He almost kicked 2. His first ever goal as well.
It was.
But he was unreal.
He's having a year.
He is.
Yeah.
And good timing.
Because of the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll leave?
Well, what is it? Keane comes back. Is he out for the year, Mark Keane? No, not the year.
I'm not 100% sure.
Dislocated ankle, so it would be halfway through.
Halfway through, yeah.
How can you drop this guy?
I know. And he, like, the problem is, though, like we were saying with that conversation, I don't know if that actually helps them that much. Like, they've replaced a player. They replaced Keane, who's more of that smaller, versatile guy, with Butts, who's very good, but I don't know if that actually makes them better.
No, it probably doesn't. But, I mean, Jordan Butts he's the best player in the league. So,
Jordan Butts is the best player in the league.
yeah. I love him. He had like 100 intercept marks. He was everywhere.
Is this like a South Australian bias?
Yeah, maybe.
Turning it into a South Australian bias stream.
Yeah.
I like that. What did you think of the Ben Keys thing? Spectator, ball, hold, wait.
It reminded me of, you said you played local footy.
Yep, back in the day.
Do you remember in local footy where you could give away free kicks on the sidelines? So if a fan said something, I don't know if chat might disagree with this, but I vaguely remember at least a few times in my local footy career, a fan, you know, saying something unsavoury on the sidelines and the umpire would blow his whistle and give a free kick.
That's crazy.
I know.
If that happened.
Yeah, but like you just think about the umpire in that moment. Like,
I reckon people at my local footy league, they would have rioted.
yeah.
If that happened.
Well, imagine Adelaide Oval, like one of the most hostile places on earth, if they'd given away a free kick. But no, I loved it. That was great.
I thought it was great.
It was fun.
Yeah. And it's really, really smart.
Yeah.
Because you can't, I mean, what do they, I mean, I suppose it is the AFL. They could just fine you for it or something.
Yeah.
But probably worth it.
No.
In the circumstances. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go turn the air conditioning on because I'm like really,
okay.
really
Well, I'll go through some comments if you want. You do have oh no, that's a super chat from before. Jordan Cakes. Yes. That's an ask.
These industrial lights.
Now on Adelaide Bulldogs as well.
Oh. Yes.
Sam Darcy. Did you have him in your best, top 5 to start the year? I'm trying to remember if I ever spoke to you about Sam Darcy.
Oh, Sam Darcy. Yeah. Well, like not on sort of like legacy of what he's done in the game,
but
I
about
think
to be.
About to be.
Yeah.
I think he's in the top 5, like most dangerous players in the comp. Absolutely.
Thoughts not changed at all?
Yeah, he hasn't had a great start to the season, has he? Do I still think that? I still think he's young.
Yeah.
What is he, 22?
Yeah, it'd be around that. 2021 draft, was it?
2021 draft. So you're talking Nick Dacos, Jason Horne-Francis,
Yeah.
Finn Callahan. So those guys are starting to come into I mean, Dacos has been doing it for a while, but the others, Nasai, are starting to become top level players in the comp. He's probably got it a little bit more difficult as a key position forward. I still think he's a big weapon. He's a big weapon.
Yeah.
And he's getting a pretty difficult go with defenders dragging him down.
Jordan Butts.
Yeah. Butts is all over him. Butts is all over him. The next game, we've already done the Gold Coast Richmond Saturday morning game. GWS versus the St Kilda Football Club. St Kilda get on the board here, winning in a strange fashion in a way. I felt like they controlled this game and they were up the entire match, but only end up winning the game by 4 points in the end. They kicked 7 goals in a row early in the game to get it out to a 39-point lead before the Giants came back late to almost pinch it. What do you think of this one?
I watched the first 3 quarters, which were just looking like a pretty routine win for St Kilda. And it's one of those games where, you're watching a game, you think it's going to end, and then you check the score when you're out and it just keeps getting closer and closer. So I didn't see what shifted late in the game. I saw the start of the shift, but didn't really digest enough of it. But you just got to be really worried if you're GWS.
Yeah.
This had to be a win.
It had to be, didn't
for both teams, really. I guess.
It was a bit of a must win for both.
Yeah.
I do think that the St Kilda criticism's been a little bit hyperbolic, given that, they obviously those first 2 games you would have, particularly the Melbourne game, you would have expected to win that game. But it is a bit over the top to say they got these new players, and so they just have to win all of these matches. Collingwood can always be a tough game at the MCG.
Yeah. So your expectations on St Kilda were lower?
I tipped them to finish 10th, I think.
Okay.
9th or 10th, or maybe even 11th.
Right.
Maybe even 11th. So I wasn't that big on them for this year. I think they're still quite a young side.
Yeah.
There's growth there. And I do think that naturally when you have this amount of change, there's going to be some kind of teething problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got the other stuff too. Nasiah's going to get tagged. He's going to get a lot more attention this year, which we've seen. And he was one of the big reasons they won a lot of games last year.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it. So I thought in this one, Cal Wilkie was incredible. 28 disposals, 4 contested marks, 11 intercepts. So
I think he got 10 coaches' votes potentially as well. So.
He got them going.
Yeah.
He was the one that really started everything, their ball movement game. Tyroo went forward, kicked a couple of goals. Darcy Wilson, for some reason, absolutely loves playing the Giants. Kicked 5 on them last year. Had a big one here again. I think that's actually, I say for some reason, I think that's partly because the Giants like to commit a lot of players forward. They get that tsunami
that orange
handball.
tsunami, yeah.
And Wilson's sort of an outside type player, and it leaves a lot of space for the opposition to then counter-attack and get him on the outside.
Okay. Well, now I need to think about these wingers playing GWS.
Yeah, space in behind if you're a fantasy coach of any sort.
All right.
There was a weird thing in this game where we lost 30 seconds off the clock or something.
Yes.
I don't know anything about that. I haven't read too many articles on it or anything, but how the fuck does that happen?
Well, apparently, I did see that they ticked it off, but they're investigating it. This comes after Friday where the clock just disappeared.
That one just disappeared. So we didn't lose any time, but it just kind of went blank.
Yeah, but
So that one, I think that one with the Western Bulldogs Adelaide game, it was stadium. And then this one was just
Fox footy. Well, isn't there footage of it kind of wheeling up and down?
It does some weird fucking poltergeist thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
And a 4-point game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there is an investigation. I think I saw the AFL investigating it to see if they actually did miss out any time.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
Did it?
I don't know. It's probably ongoing. But I think the initial check, they said it was all fine. There was no time lost or anything.
I don't think I've ever, in any other sport, I don't think I've ever heard of that happening once. But I don't know, 2 in a round. How does that happen? Firstly, and I feel we do have things where this happens a little bit. There was the Tassie one way back when the siren went.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing. I don't know.
Was that also St Kilda? It might have been.
It was St Kilda and FREO. St Kilda and FREO. Yeah. So I don't know. Bonk Choi 1312 has given a super chat. Thank you so much, mate. Kerno has been absolutely blasted by the media, but been so quiet about Darcy. Vic bias always shows. I'm not too sure about that because I feel like Charlie Kerno used to cop it at Carlton.
Oh yeah, I think he's copped it his whole career.
Yeah. What I would say is Sam Darcy plays for the Western Bulldogs. they're a small market club. There's not a lot going on with the Western Bulldogs. They're also playing
Winning.
great footy and they're winning.
Yeah.
So no one gives a shit how Darcy's playing until they need him to.
Yeah.
Whereas Kerner had an opportunity to win it's a big trade. There's been a lot of capital, so there's narrative that you can tap into really easily that you can't necessarily do with Sam Darcy. So I think that's what's happening there. I don't really think that's a Vic bias thing.
Yeah. And I am Drewsy's father for not cons. I'm not. Do I sound like Drewsy? I don't think I do.
No, I don't think so at all.
All right. Well, the Saturday night game, are you done with the GWS Saints?
I think so.
Saturday night.
Yep.
Didn't watch this game. Did you watch?
I did watch this
Fremantle,
game.
Melbourne?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
Well, the Dockers won this one by 48 points, and this one fits into my... I don't want to say it was a stinker. It was obviously like FREO get their first win of the season, but it was one of those games where it was over pretty early. I think the score was 49-7 at quarter time, so it's a 42-point lead. Like, you're not... A team like Melbourne probably aren't going to be able to get back from that. This one just screams of a young team in Melbourne who have some experienced players, to be fair, but they still have a lot of young players that are trying to lift this team up. They go on the road, they have a good win in round one, and then they can't get the job done. A little bit of North Melbourne about this one with the age profile. It's just that they were playing a good team and we were playing another shit team, so we should have won. I don't want to make this about North Melbourne.
No.
But yeah, like if you look at the players that played well for the D's in this game, you've got Gawn was a top performer, Pickett was a top performer, Jack Steele was a top performer, and probably Ed Langdon was the other one. The guys that didn't play so well in this game, Jacob Van Rooyen didn't kick a goal, Latrell Pickett didn't kick a goal, Langford only had 14 disposals and 3 clearances at 50%, so that's not really good enough. Caleb Windsor only had 13 disposals. So all the young guys that have travelled over there, they've just really struggled to get the job done here.
Yeah.
And FREO took advantage.
You know what's interesting? I'm fairly sure Melbourne have one of the most, and this is like, I agree with your argument because Melbourne have so many young players, but Melbourne have one of the oldest experience lists in the competition based on the senior players that they have in their team.
Yep.
And in this game, they were actually an older team than Fremantle.
Older than FREO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are right. It is a young team.
That's what's, I reckon, like there's a lack of context often when we talk about age profiles, because it's like, where are your most important players and like where are they situated on the ground and those sorts of things. So Melbourne are running, like their midfield at the moment is being held up by Langford and Windsor and these types. Lindsay's another one as well. So like they're just too young to get the job done.
And even the senior players there are guys who have just come into the system in Jack Steele.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's pretty different. And like they've had a lot of change with their backline as well. Like Stephen May's gone out of the team, which there's going to be some teething issues there. The FREO forwards really got a hold of them. Like Josh Tracy was an absolute colossus in this game, kicked 4 goals. FREO do look like they've changed their game style a little bit. If you look at, again, like the handball statistics, we're kind of seeing those two different styles. We're seeing like the chip mark that we saw with Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs. Juxtaposing against that, you're seeing that really chaotic handball style through the middle. I think you saw that with FREO a little bit in the preseason. They're trying to go really, really get the ball straight back towards the corridor when it gets to the outside, bring it through the middle of the ground, and just be a little bit more unpredictable. And I think we've kind of seen that with both of their games so far. They've scored like heavily in patches, but then they've also been quite easy to score against themselves. So they're going to have to find that balance as the season goes on. But I think what you do see with them is that, like in this game, Caleb Sarong was pretty much a non-event, but their other mids just got involved. Like Brayshaw had 39, kicked a goal. Murphy Reed had 24 and 2. I think Shea Bolton had 32 and a couple of goals as well. So they don't necessarily, I think in other seasons they've had to rely on Caleb Sarong quite a bit. And this one there's just starting to become more guys at the party. And you're not having that conversation of like Hayden Young's out of the team.
I've always found, and gamble responsibly, guys, Fremantle are the most annoying team to bet on.
Okay.
Because you'll put Sarong or for 25 and Brayshaw will get 25. You'll put Brayshaw for 25.
Yeah.
Sarong will get 25.
That 1-2 punch.
Yeah. And that is good. It's a class midfield.
Yep.
It's just we don't really have a sample size yet for Fremantle, do we? We've seen them lose one game they should have won in pretty dramatic fashion in the end there.
I think what you can say about the Dockers is, though, when you're starting to look across the entire team, you look at, like you said, like they're actually still pretty young from an age profile perspective. the talent's there.
Yeah.
Like they've got almost every. The only player that I can look at across that team and go, ew, what are you doing there? Is probably like an Oscar McDonald.
I didn't even know he still played there.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
He's getting a game. So like that's probably a point for them to like improve that position perhaps. But other than that, they've got a little bit of an issue, I suppose you could say, with like the ruck situation. Sean Darcy not having a huge impact at the moment.
Good issue to have though.
Good issue to have. And you got Cox waiting there. So I don't think that's going to be a problem for
Yeah.
them. They've got one of the, like, for these rules, they've got one of the best rucks in the competition in Luke Jackson. So I don't know. Like Tracy looks like a serious player. Jesse's been big on him for the last couple of years that he's going to absolutely explode, and it looks like it could be this year.
Okay. All right. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Josh Tracy, All-Australian year.
It could be. It could be. And like one thing actually that I saw that Justin Longmuir said that was interesting, like he said with Caleb Serong being tagged at the end of the game in his press conference, he said he doesn't go into his head and think about his own possession tally anymore. He thinks about how the team can maximise that situation. And I thought he did that well from the start. So that's like that. I guess Justin Longmuir has talked about this before with players at times in losses for them, like chasing their own statistics. Like, I want to play well. So him kind of opening the door to get Murphy Reid into the game, to get Shea Bolton, and you'd probably rather the ball in their hands anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're the coach, you're going like tag Caleb Serong, like Shea Bolton can have the touches, Murphy Reid can have the touches.
Yeah. Okay. Positive out of FREO.
Positives.
And game next week against, who was it?
I don't know who they've got
Richmond
next week.
at Optus.
Oh, Jesus. That'll go into the...
Yeah.
When we're doing the recap of the games, that'll, I imagine, be in the stinker category.
Yeah. Well, that's the pre-game warm-up for Essendon North. So big night, Saturday night.
Oh, is that before that game?
It is. Stinky day.
Stinky.
Stinky Saturday.
Stinky. Rory Joe 56 says, this breakneck fast transition football is not sustainable. There will be many players that will be cooked mid-season. Only round 2 and mega soft tissues already. AFL very selfish and self-centered. It's an interesting point. Like I think the situation with the injuries becomes like such an issue in AFL because there's only a couple of superstars. Like, you know, you probably got your top 5 players that are sort of like star level players on each team, right? And that gets lower and lower as you go down the league. So if you start to get a lot of injuries to those top players, like it becomes, and they're the ones that are going to be getting pushed to the limit.
Yeah.
Because the coaches are going to be wanting them in the game as much as possible.
What will be interesting is if it impacts any one team significantly more than others when it comes to the pointy end of the season.
Yeah. Because if you're missing 2 key players, you're not going to win the premiership.
Yeah. A few hamstring issues off to the side during finals, you'll get angry fan bases. Because really, did footy need to be changed as much as it did? That's the question.
Well, that's always the question. Like, I'm always open to small tweaks to make the game better. Like, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I'm trying to think of rules. Like, I reckon the 6-6-6 rule in isolation, that does have the danger to make it, again, like better for the better teams. Because if you can win the ball out of the middle, you're going to score more often and the coach can't put numbers behind the ball, etc. So that's a bit of a dangerous one, but I think from stoppage, like it's not a huge score source anyway. So it can't rip the game away from you ordinarily. But I think that's a pretty good rule. And like generally speaking, even like we talked about the lasso rule. I'm not anti-lasso rule.
I'm pro lasso.
Yeah. I want the ball to be in play and I don't want teams to be just like deliberately running it over so they can turn it into a stoppage fest necessarily. But I don't like blowouts and I don't necessarily like high scoring football.
No, neither do I. I prefer these Hawthorn Sydney games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've said it a few times, like the grand finals between Sydney and West Coast back in the day, the like 9-10 would be the winning game. Like it's always close.
Yeah.
You can always get back in it. You can be more offensive if you need to be or be more defensively to get back into the game, but you're always in it.
Yeah.
It's like a soccer game. It's like,
I was just thinking that. Yeah. There's always stakes. You know,
There's
always a
always
way to win a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That is absolutely what you want.
Dylan,
have we finished all the games?
I think I'm ready to talk about Essendon Port Adelaide now.
Oh, that's a lot. I was like, which one haven't we done?
Yeah.
Which one haven't we done?
I think I'm ready.
I wanted to keep this until the end so that we didn't get the West Coast North game and this one out of the way.
Yeah.
So I've actually kept this one in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So the final score I don't have in front of me, but the Power won by 63 points.
133 to 70.
133 to 70. That feels flattering to the Bombers.
Yeah, 100%.
A little bit. And I reckon you guys played your best football at times in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When you just got the ball on half back and someone just went tearing through the middle, bit of handball. There was a Kako one there late where he was involved. It was a shocking day. Port Adelaide coming into this game had a little bit of controversy. They'd lost to North Melbourne the week before in a pretty poor performance for them. And Josh Carr had even come out and said that he probably underestimated his opposition, which seems outrageous to do in your first ever game as an AFL coach.
Yeah.
I can't believe he admitted to that. I'm still not sure if that was a good idea.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Why admit to that? Basically said that they underestimated them. He did not make that mistake twice. Plus 16 in the clearances, plus 17 inside 50s. It was 21-4, I think, at quarter time.
It was pretty bad at quarter time. It was 18-2 at one stage. I remember popping up on the screen. It was
perhaps the worst stat of all. 223 sprints to 182.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So he didn't run as much either.
Well, we covered more distance. We just didn't sprint as much. We
That's
covered
it.
5Ks more.
And that's the game.
Yep,
that is
the
the modern
game.
game. It's those sprints.
Thank you for that stat. I wasn't aware of that.
Butters had 36, 771 metres gained, 13 score involvements, 5 centre clearances. He took the piss. Jason Horne-Francis bounced back after a shitty game against North Melbourne to have 26 and 3, so you've played him into form. Georgiades 2, Aaliyah had 19 marks, Lukosius even had 3 goals. And if Jack Lukosius is having a good game against you, something's wrong.
Oh, that's the thing that we make everyone look good. We really do. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Hawthorn are obviously pretty good, but Port, conceding 133 against Port it's something.
You wouldn't have said that coming into the season that they were going to have like a high-powered offense that could really, really take it away. Like they've obviously got the good midfield. Where for you is the biggest finger-pointing problem? Where am I taking my pitchfork if
Midfield.
I'm an Essendon fan?
It's the midfield.
It's the players then?
Yeah. Oh, probably not, to be honest. It feels worse. It feels worse than just one area. If we're looking at an area of the field, it's the midfield, and that's where it starts because that's our strongest zone on paper. But there is something pretty wrong at the moment with the way that we're playing. You know, that's not just one zone or, you know, it's kind of everything. And it's getting to the stage now where we're in round 2 and people are already calling for, I mean, they're calling for Brad Scott's head anyway, but now there's a reason for it. You know, we've played 2 pretty stinky games of footy to start the year. What was worse for me was that first quarter. Did you watch the game?
The Port game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. Mate, the first quarter, the lack of pressure, I think it was the 5th lowest pressure rating for Essendon in the last 5 years in a game that we needed to...
A response.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. It like just watching live at the game, watching the statues, you know, it was...
The statues, literally and figuratively, like the stand rule guy, like the Kako on the stand.
Or that might be it. Maybe they just don't know what the stand rule is. They always think they have to stand.
Yeah, maybe.
But and it is, you say Kako, it's the young guys that actually give a shit.
Yeah.
Like Caddy, Kako.
We'll get into that with the Brad Scott comments.
Okay.
So
right.
Uncontested marks against are a big issue at the moment. 157 last week and 165 this week. So we talked about that with the Western Bulldogs. Like they're giving him up and they don't care because they can defend the back 50. But you guys have given up 23 and 25 inside 50 marks.
Yeah.
So you're letting the opposition team run it all the way from the back half and giving them a mark inside 50 and a shot at goal as well. 182 points from turnover conceded in the last 2 weeks. So you're saying that that's mostly coming from the midfield?
No, I think it starts in the midfield. And I have the most trust, I had the most trust in our midfield to perform. The names there, Merritt, Durham, Caldwell, Parrish. But yeah, they're just getting absolutely destroyed in there. And that's where it starts and it puts the defense under pressure. We've always been bad at defending transition anyway. Like those numbers don't surprise me that much. What's surprising is that we don't have a plan B with, you know, getting the upper hand in the midfield because we're just getting, we got bullied by Hawthorn.
Yeah, and we just talked about them not having a good enough midfield.
Yeah, we got absolutely destroyed by them. Yeah. So
it is like I go to that leadership group. Like it almost feels a bit like a mini me situation where the leaders kind of teach the next group, and it just keeps going on for generation after generation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they're just like in this game. You look at the leaders. Like Caldwell had 27 and 1.
Yeah, but
Shit house.
Yeah, it was his worst game I've seen in a long time.
I've never seen him so fumbly.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that I think you generally get with Caldwell. You get work rate, you get cleanliness, and you probably don't get the offensive threat. When he's fumbling the ball, you don't get anything, essentially. He still finds it nonetheless. Merritt, 25 disposals, 8 contested.
I thought he was our best of the leaders. He's not a leader anymore, but you could tell he was out there giving a shit.
Yeah, I've always this is a subjective take.
Okay.
I've always found Merritt to be like the way that he plays feels like he plays for himself. And I think that's okay when you're a part of a really good team. Like if he went to a top team, I think that would absolutely be fine and he'd complement and he'd play really well. I don't know if he actually necessarily I feel like he plays like a leader though, of a young team struggling down the bottom of the ladder to pick them up.
No, he doesn't. But he leads by example. Like the way he plays. Even
well.
if he plays,
he plays well.
But he also just plays hard. And at times he's not
for himself.
And he's not defensively accountable. I'll say that. He was one of the guys just standing around looking at birds. Don't know what he was doing. And
in a good team, that would be fine.
Yeah. But
because he hurts you.
Yeah. But yeah, he
standing around looking at birds. You had some shocking performances here too, though, that I've got. So Merritt's an interesting one, and obviously the contract stuff is there with that as well. Andy McGrath, he's stinking the place out at the moment.
A bit, yeah.
Peter Wright, goalless. What does he do?
Absolutely nothing.
He's the biggest enigma I've ever seen. I don't know.
Not even an enigma anymore. It's every now and then he'll kick a five goal game, but
against a shit team.
Yeah.
Archie Perkins 9 disposals. Darcy Parish 24 disposals. 16 handballs, 1 inside 50. He just does not progress the ball at all.
He's one of those players where you kind of forget they're playing even when they're getting the footy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not a modern midfielder, is he?
No, he's not.
It's not going to work out.
Kyle Langford's another who's just not lifting.
I forgot to mention him as well. I think he kicked 1 goal for the game.
Very late in the game. Yep.
Bit of a junk timer. So that from a leadership point of view is for me, that's where it's at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like you can't teach these guys.
No. There's clearly talent on this list. But it's so worrying that the players guiding that talent are just, at their worst useless, some of those players were just, could have had anyone out there and they would have been doing the same thing. Pretty bad stuff. You know what? I saw power rankings, Fox Footy power rankings, had West Coast 18th, Essendon 17th. Would you flip that around?
West Coast, after this round?
Yeah. Just vibes.
100% for power rankings.
Yeah.
If you're predicting where they would finish at the end of the season, I think maybe that's appropriate.
Yeah.
But
now,
for where we're at now, you guys have been the biggest disappointment.
Yeah. Or not, I guess, yeah. But there wasn't much expectation coming into it. That's the worrying thing.
But I do think there was a bit of optimism coming into the year for you guys, because I feel and I don't know if this is one of those things that's sunk into the players a little bit, but there was so much talk about, we had so many injuries last year. We're going to get these new draftees in. They're going to, alongside the help from players like Merritt and Parish and these guys, we're going to get everyone back and we're going to go again. And we're going to be about where we were halfway through last year, which was actually on the outskirts of the top 8. I think that's kind of the expectation coming in. I don't know if anyone thought that you could actually push up that far, but you could maybe not be a bottom 4 side.
I guess there was hope and there was optimism that we'd play decent footy.
Yeah.
The Hawthorn game didn't surprise me, but this was that was a really surprising, even though I'm not, I'm used to it, just I guess with everything coming behind it, all the amount of pressure on these players and coaches for that performance, not just the way we played, but the manner in which we played.
It sort of looks like everyone, all the rest of the competition, improved in the off season, and you guys just stayed in the same.
Oh, I don't know about staying the same. We played better footy last year with
worse.
The injuries. Yeah.
Wow.
63 is flattering. It wasn't even just them taking the foot off the gas. They missed a lot of chances as well. So did Hawthorn the week before.
I don't know if you do this, you get rose tinted glasses when you're watching football sometimes, but it felt like all of your top performers in this game were young players.
They were.
It was Caddy, it was Kako, it was Dyson Sharp before he went off.
Roberts and Johnson were both good.
Johnson was really good in this game, actually. Yeah. Roberts had some good moments as well. And what Brad Scott said in the press conference afterwards, he talked about Nate Caddy and when he had that moment when he ran in on goal.
Yeah.
I thought that was I don't want to call him out for it. I don't know what Brad Scott's supposed to say after a loss like this, so I don't want to be too harsh on him for that. But that felt dangerous.
Yeah, it Well, I actually liked a lot of what he said in the conference. Not
What
that
did you like?
I just like the anger, to be honest. That
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
that at least there was anger, because I didn't feel that after the Hawthorn game, but it felt like he was pissed off and he was about to go and shout at the boys as well.
There's that, like where coaches have that moment where it's like, do I throw the boys under the bus or do I take this myself? He definitely is now flirting with I'm putting this on you guys.
Yeah,
now.
and to be honest, I like that, because that game there was no effort from the players, which can come back to the coaching. But
Yes.
you can only do what you.
The issue for me, it feels like this is a leadership problem and an elder statesman problem. And
Yeah.
he kind of felt like he more went at caddy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was probably the guy that looked like he was giving a shit. Like, would he have 4 goals?
Yeah, and after that as well, like he could drop his head. If anyone had a reason to drop their head, it was Caddy, and he was the only one that really responded.
Yep.
And that's part of why I think he chose Caddy, because he's going to probably, in talking about positives, be highlighting Caddy and his performance like internally, and that's where most of the positivity came from in this game.
Yeah.
If Caddy had gone on to have an absolute stinker,
Oh, so you reckon he wouldn't have done it then?
nah, probably not.
Yeah.
But I
okay.
think because Caddy's actually shown promise in this game,
So he was like, we know you're good.
yeah,
So I'm going to use you as an
yeah,
example.
yeah, shit
here.
moment, kind of vibe for, I guess, to continue the anger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the anger. I like the discussion. But you're right that it's treading on a line. Especially individuals, because I don't think he named anyone else.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He was the only one that came up. And that might have been not by design. That might have just been circumstantial.
Questions asked, yeah.
He did it he said that they have, I can't remember that, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said selfish players who play for themselves.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Who's he talking about?
I mean, any of the midfielders really. Darcy Parish would come to mind.
Yep.
Merritt could honestly come to mind there a bit
I
too.
think Merritt.
Yeah.
Durham's not having a great year.
No, he's not.
He's young though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a leader, official leader of the club. Same with Caldwell. Yes, they're young, but if you've got that title, you need the responsibility. So throw them under the bus too. They're both having stinkers. And I think all the senior players, to be honest, out there just looked like so flat. And all of them, if they're thinking about those comments, you could put it, to your brain that he's talking about yourself. And it could be powerful. Maybe they'll find something out of that. Or, I mean, does this team have enough of a backbone to kind of find some fight in those comments, or are they just going to do the opposite and crumble under them? Is one of two ways that could go.
Do you think that there is because I've heard people say this to me, people that work in the industry that have even people fairly high up have said that Essendon, with their they've got talented players, but they do have a cultural problem. They haven't recruited players that have the right work ethic to be top AFL players.
Yeah, I mean, look at, don't want to single out young players, but that 2020 draft. I mean, even the drafts, the couple before that and after. Obviously, we are clearly trying to change that with the recent ones with Matt Rosa.
Yeah.
Last year's draft, looking at leadership, Nate Caddy, Archie Roberts, these tough guys who just want to win. But you look at the kind of 22 to 26-year-olds on this team that we took from the draft, and there are constantly issues with them kind of fading in and out of games or consistency issues.
The Perkins
Yeah,
types.
exactly who I was thinking, to be honest. But yeah.
Even guys that have been delisted probably too, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And part of that, Pat Voss is another one. But is that drafting those players or not putting the time in to turn things around? Because Pat Voss turned it around at Fremantle. We delisted him because of his cultural issues and what he was doing away from the club. Then he gets picked up by another club and starts performing. I think it's both.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's absolutely both. So what should happen? What should happen here? I'm just off the cuff. Jacob Farrow, does he come into the team? Does Sullivan Roby come into this team? Do you play Elijah Sartis?
Farrow, Roby probably is still a couple of weeks away, I reckon. He's
Just because of the injury?
Yeah, he looks pretty underdone.
He looked all right in the VFL, though,
He
didn't
did. He had some moments, but he's struggling to run out games. And to be fair, he hasn't been running all preseason. I think Farrow is definitely a shout. He had a pretty good game.
He had 30 plus, didn't he?
He did. Inflated. He was taking a lot of kick-ins, a lot of easy touches. But, I mean, you've got some injuries there with Redmond and
Redmond's the obvious one, isn't he?
Sharp.
That he comes in for.
Yeah. Ridley's supposed to be back soon, but...
You never know with
No,
Ridley.
you don't, yeah.
You never know. That's interesting. But yeah, no, I think Farrow... I was a bit surprised that Farrow didn't get a call-up to start the season.
So was I. I think Kondianis has been tracking really well at training.
Yep.
Huss is the one of the three that I'm probably worried about being left out, from like a Jade Gresham or something now. which would make
Yeah.
sense because he's just struggling to run out games. But,
Huss, he just doesn't quite look like he's got the fitness to play at the level.
and that
at
was
the
always
moment.
the main concern.
Yeah. I feel like I said this on a different video, but like when you watch like an Isaac Kako, when he came in last year, he looked like he still had that power in his legs
Yep.
for all 4 quarters. Where I feel like with Huss, get to the last quarter and he's just like, he's right on the edge. Kind of could go either way. Comments on the Bombers.
The chat about Essendon is exactly the same as how Richmond fans felt at the end of 2023.
Okay.
Was that their wooden spoon year? Sam Lawler? Or?
Yeah, 2024 draft. Oh, hang on. No, but that would have been 2024.
Well, they were pretty crap the year before as well.
They were. No, yeah, but that was the first drop-off year.
Yeah, but on Richmond, you've got premiership players there as experience, like from a few years before.
You've got known quantities
Yeah.
that can guide and lead. You've got your Vlastons, your Broads, your Nankervises, your Lynches. These players who have been there, they've done it, and you know that they're from they kind of know how to form a winning culture.
Yeah.
Essentially. So Essendon just don't have the runs on the board. Like, what is it? What's your record with the finals? I know that always gets
21 years or 22, something like that.
without winning a final.
Yeah.
Like, there's no.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, sorry. There's no known quantity there, though, is there? And there's no trust or reliability in those players that you can kind of get back there. It's just like, we've got to build this together.
Yep.
But if you haven't got the right players there that really want to buy into that, then it's difficult. So you're still, I think like Essendon are still flirting with that, like 2 recruiting models where you've got Rose's kind of new way. You've still got like the Doro's picks as well. There's older guys in that.
And they're getting cleaned out, to be honest. And there's going to be so many more gone at the end of the year.
It's hard to fully clean out the decks though.
Exactly. You can't delist 30 players in one season.
Yeah. And there's not enough talent to bring in to like make real meaningful change in a small period of time.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
How long have we been going for here, Felix?
Decent length.
Decent length of time, I reckon. We've got 200 in the chat. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. Rogi's got the exact statistic in there.
Thank you, Rogi.
7,870 days. I don't know if Rogi's just pulled that out of his ass. Or
It's probably right, to be honest. It sounds about right.
it probably is.
It's
with Rogi.
definitely four numbers.
I absolutely love that. Dons need to make a statement at selection table, although you can only drop so many. Give me a top 3 droppings. Shit. Parrish probably goes.
I don't know if he does. I don't know what's in the, like, I know people are going to say Sardis, but it didn't do much in the VFL.
Didn't he?
No one did really.
Brad doesn't like him, does he?
No. And to be fair, like, he's not the best player.
No.
Honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just the injured players. There's really not a lot in the VFL. And the players that will come in are going to be like Jade Gresham.
It's not like...
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Oh.
You can only make a selection statement if you've got players to come in. We just don't, I don't think.
So the question then is, who had a worse loss, Essendon or North Melbourne?
Oh, us.
Really?
Yeah.
We lost to West Coast, though.
Yeah, we lost to Port. Second, that's our biggest loss of the year. And it was only 1 point more than last week.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you've definitely had a worse overall start to the season.
Okay, all right.
Just under an isolated loss.
I mean, you were in it. I guess you had the added context of, 5 goals in front. You should probably be winning that.
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, God.
And I guess, you know what? I'll give it to you because you must have been like up and about last week, over the moon. You've got a reality check. You've probably fallen from higher. There's a bigger fall, whereas I'm just kind of like 10% more unhappy than I was last week. You're probably like 50%.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
It's that emotional roller coaster. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the effects a little bit more.
But Saturday,
one of us, that's kind of like, that gives us the answer.
Yeah.
Really. If you guys win that, you're back.
Well, you haven't beaten us since 2016.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I fucking know that. Felix. Someone wrote a comment and I forgot. Do you think Brad has lost the playing group?
I mean, we look checked out.
Yeah. I think he used the word demoralised.
Yeah. That was after the Nate Caddy discussion. But
2 games in.
Yeah. Yeah, and using those words, if you're a coach, if you're a player, would you want to be called demoralised in 2 rounds?
You'd like to know what's going on behind the scenes, absolutely. But I think he is, like, he either really knows what he's doing, and he's an experienced coach.
Yeah.
You got to give him that, whatever you say. I hope he knows what he's doing.
Well, last thing I'll say about Essendon, we did talk a while ago. I told you a bit about, his plans for the season and how I wasn't thrilled with them, and you can kind of see them kind of coming to fruition a little bit here. I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Just fill me in. Just give me some clues.
It was just, there was some talking about game plan and system, and I liked a lot of what he said, and
Oh, I know. I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
About offense over defense.
kind of just score more than concede for a team like Essendon, which is just not going to work.
In fairness to him, if you look at how football is being played this season,
Yeah,
there's a little bit of logic there.
yeah, but
It's just that you guys don't do that as well as the opposition.
and you can't just play the way that the game's being played if you're a team like Essendon, which is the frustrating thing about being a rebuilding team.
100%. And if you actually look at I reckon if you isolated your scores, they would look respectable.
Yeah, I think
Your
we got
points-
like 80 against Hawthorn as
Yeah,
well.
points for would be quite respectable, I imagine. But it doesn't mean that you were ever in any of those games
No.
or anywhere near
No,
it.
no.
So, yeah, it's crazy. I think we'll wrap it up there, mate.
Yeah.
End stream.
Yeah, it's been good talking footy with you,
Thanks
mate.
so much, mate. I
Yeah.
love doing streams with you.
Yeah, it's
great
do
fun.
it more often.
We
Yeah.
should do it more often.
If only there was a draft or something coming up.
Someone did say before, are you guys going to do regular draft content? I think we will. I think
Maybe.
we'll do some stuff. We'll
Maybe
team
we'll
up for
record
that.
something.
I've got to say, it's funny. I'm a North supporter, so like North and Essendon kind of hate each other, right?
Yeah.
I reckon Essendon has the nicest supporters. I'll say that in the context of like fan channels and stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
you and Scoot and Fiona
Fiona.
at
Yeah.
Bomber Banter. Like you're also
Yeah.
such lovely people.
It's a good community, actually. We all get
Yeah.
around each other. It's good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, go and check those guys out and check Felix out. Give yourself a little plug.
Yeah, thank you. Everything Essendon. If you want to hear more about the Essendon Football Club, also a new channel, The Footy Nerd, Felix Winderlich, The Footy Nerd, where I talk about all things footy, mainly the draft, which I'm sure you'll be on at some stage this year as well.
Absolutely. Before someone's actually asked, no draft talk deal. We actually recorded a video right before this, which we're going to get up. So we're going to put that up on the draft as well. So there was Coates Talent League was back. Felix was over in SA watching some of the Sandful as well. So we kind of covered that as best we could. We haven't watched every single game that has been played in that space, but we did our best. So we'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for the super chats. And we'll see you next week, and we'll welcome Jesse back into the fold. Felix, thank you.
Thank you. See you guys. Like we synced up the